campaign for Republicans against Democrats? And if so, are there any particular Democrats right now you'd plan to campaign against?
Yeah, see, these Democrats think that they can just do whatever they want because, where else are we going to go? Who else are we going to vote for? Well, first of all, we're going to start in the primaries. Any Democrat that gets in the way of true reform that has to include the public option, we are going to campaign against them in the primary. We're going to try to find people to run against them. They are not going to get away with this. The American people, the vast majority of American people, depending on what poll you read, 2/3 to 3/4 of the American people expect universal health care, are demanding it, and they want the public option. And for Congress just to disregard what people want, what people are expecting them to do, what they voted for last November. I mean, who do they think they are? I mean, seriously, whose interests do they think they were voting for today? Not the American people. The American people have been very, very clear on this issue.
For you, is the public option sort of the bottom line of what a bill has to contain? I mean, I know you wanted a single-payer system, but is the public option for you make or break?
It's absolutely make or break. Yes, it should be a single-payer system. It should be what every other Western democracy has. Any intelligent or even half-intelligent nation has either a single payer or a national health care plan that clearly this Congress doesn't understand that that's what the American people want. So, I feel bad that the president started with the compromise, this public option that really leaves the private insurance companies somewhat in charge. We should have started with everything that we wanted, and then if you have to compromise, you compromise. But you don't start with a compromise. And believe you me, this is to have a plan that doesn't allow for this. It's just the same old businesses. It's not going to change. Nothing is going to change. Trust me on this one thing. You don't have to, but I'm the guy who told you 20 years ago that General Motors was going to end up like this, and I'm the guy that told you before the war there weren't any weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. So here I am now standing on a street in Washington, D.C. in 2009 saying to you right now, to the American people, nothing is going to change if the public option is not part of any health care legislation.
Michael, you also said today to the American people who support the public option, you said, and I quote, "Come out of your houses, turn off Dancing with the Stars. This is the moment. We cannot lose this moment." Why haven't supporters, I mean, if so many people in your belief support the public option, why haven't those people been more vocal, more visible? The debate's largely been dominated by Tea Party protests and outrage at town hall meetings.
Right, well, that's what they organized starting in August, and we haven't had anybody to organize anything yet. So starting this Friday, this is my contribution when this film opens nationwide. I think, because I've already seen it in theaters with people are very agitated while watching this movie, and I think they're going to be ready to rumble when they come out of the theaters, and I expect them to get involved, and I have a lot of suggestions for them, both in the movie and on my website. So I'm doing my part to get people up and at them. I understand why they maybe haven't, because they thought by voting for Barack Obama and a 60-seat Democratic Senate that things were going to be okay. It's not unusual for someone to believe that if we control the White House and both houses of Congress, that things will be okay. But obviously, the lesson gets learned again that you can't just vote and then walk away and not show up again for another 2 or 4 years. You have to remain vigilant, and we have to be consistent. And I expect people to get up off the couch. Nothing against Dancing with the Stars. I mean, you can still watch that.
But Michael, some of the Democrats that voted nay today said they did it because they knew a bill with the public option wouldn't pass. And there are those who say getting some bill is better than no bill. Even Social Security, when it was first passed, it was nothing compared to what it ultimately became.
That's correct. But I can't stand listening to whiny Democrats say, well, we shouldn't even do it because it won't pass anyways. That's not how the Republicans think. You know, you've got to admire Republicans. They have the courage of their convictions. They just put it right out there. When they want to do something, they do it. They don't go, oh, I don't know if we should invade Iraq. People might not like that. They don't care. They just go ahead and do it. What is wrong with our side of the aisle? Where is the spine? Where is the courage? Oh, they might filibuster. Really? Let them filibuster. Let them read from cookbooks for 24 days. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see what the American people would do while they watched Republicans read from cookbooks for 24 days, filibustering something that should be a human right. The right to see a doctor when you get sick and not have to worry about paying for it.
Here's what the White House said today. They said, quote, he, being President Obama, believes making a public option available on the insurance exchange is a good way to achieve those goals. He said he's open to other constructive ideas of increasing choice and competition. What do you think of the way that President Obama has handled this? Is he too willing to compromise? I mean, you talk about politicians needing a spine. Do you think he is spineless?
I think what the problem is, I hate to really call it a problem, I just think he's a nice guy. I think he really started his administration not just saying it, but really meaning it, with holding out the olive branch and believing in wanting a bipartisan thing and all of that. He wasn't just saying that, he really meant it. But what he didn't understand is that the other side has no interest in bipartisanship or an olive branch, and he's been smacked around a bit by the other side. And I hate seeing that, because I think everything he stands for is right and good, and he's just got to know that if we've got his back, if there's millions of people out there, if their voices will be heard right now, that's what he needs. He can't do this on his own.
Aye.
Mr. Rockefeller, aye. Mr. Conrad?
No.
Mr. Conrad, no.
This time, the no's came from Democrats, who joined Republicans to defeat the public option, keeping it out of the Senate Finance Committee's crucial version of health care reform. The committee's chairman argued there's no way the option could beat a filibuster in the Senate.
No one has been able to show me how we can count up to 60 votes with a public option in the bill. And thus I'm constrained to vote against the amendment.
Two amendments that would give the uninsured the option of joining a government-run health care plan pitted Democrat against Democrat. Public option supporter Jay Rockefeller cited data from the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office that says the provision would save the government $50 billion. A bill without the option, he argued, gives the insurance industry a pass.